Yup, Lepreezey. It's business time. Business time.
Why do some entities fail to promote events, and what are the common reasons?
I think different entities fail to promote events based on where they are in the industry and maybe a lack of understanding of their responsibility. I think promoters might fail to do their job if they rely too heavily on bands, and inversely if bands rely too heavily on promoters. If venues rely on the mixture of both of them. I think a golden rule to believe in is that no one else is going to do anything, and then also that all of your efforts might be in vain too, that you might not have any draw, that no matter how many posters and sponsored ads you put up, it might mean nothing. I think what that philosophy encourages is to step it up on the independent end to kind of make up for where other parties lack. I think the phenomenon of independent artists, independent agents having to find support in markets they've never been to is a bizarre and unique phenomenon to the independent world, and I think it'll get away from that. Are you done?
Sorry, I was just having fun.
Alright.
Why do some entities fail to promote events, and what are some common reasons? Entities we mean could be the artist, could be members of one band, one member of one band, of a 3-band bill or a festival. We're talking about the venues, a promoter, a talent buyer / promoter, stuff like that. Oh, I think my dad's shooting at me. So anyways, entity can be any party that's involved in this whole event process, tour process, promotions, content process. But going back to communication stuff, that's the reason why a lot of people fail to promote it. They don't know who's supposed to be doing it. If it's a DIY event, everyone should be doing it because everyone says they're gonna do it all themselves. So don't say this person should handle this person should handle that. You wanna save yourself time, go armed to the teeth with whatever, as Richard would say, armed to the teeth with as much as you can. It helps with the booking process, and it helps with the making sure the event goes off good too. Keep in mind someone that doesn't exist, like Richard says. Someone's going to make the event page, someone's going to do this, ask if someone's doing it at least, so you can just do it yourself. Don't worry about stepping on anyone's toes. If you do, just fix it. It's not a big deal.
Why do some entities fail to promote events, and what are the common reasons? I think most people fail to promote events because they're too busy. It's the 19th thing in people's lives. Getting the gig is hard enough alone. To go back to communication's key, I think both parties, artists, the band, the promoter, talent buyer, the manager, the agent, there's a lot of people. There could be sometimes, 10 to 15 plus people in an artist's life promoting, working on an endeavor. But if all of them don't communicate who's doing what, then it becomes really difficult to make sure tasks get done. To me, I think there's this eternal to-do list. It's beyond all of us. There's things that just have to get done for a show to be not just successful, but to have a fighting chance of being successful. That whether it's harsh noise in a cave or it's Philharmonic at a performing arts center, if everyone isn't getting press, putting up posters, dropping money on sponsored ads, then it doesn't have a fighting chance. Some things you can just whisper, the Grateful Dead or Kanye West, and it'll bring people out of the woodwork, and they can play wherever, foothills of Montana or something. They'll draw a crowd to any esoteric destination. But, the stress, promo is paramount. Someone has to get it done. And this goes back to DIY being not an issue, but the idea that someone has to do it themselves. A band is already doing so much. A venue is already firing on all cylinders to stay alive, especially if it's in a small market. Both parties should just address it. A band says, listen, I only have $100. I can only put $100 into the show. I'm only potentially going to make $150. I'm going to spend 75% of my potential money and budget in the promo. Venue, what can you do? You know, promoter, what can you do? Instead of everyone just saying, okay, we got the gig, we're gonna all make some posts, talk to you later. Day of, we're all playing to 12 people. And understand that one good show can not just have great effects on a band, but an entire scene, a venue, you know, and also same with a bad show. It would completely ruin morale in a band. It could make a venue seem like the not it place to be. And again, a great show could make a venue seem like the spot. A really great show in a market that is kind of unexplored, played by a great band on the road, them posting about it like, you gotta go to Kingston, New York, it's the coolest place on planet Earth. Hamtramck, Michigan. Super cool. You know, that could put like a whole community on a map. You know, a lot of these places we revere as musical destinations, you know, really, it's not that they're not musical destinations, it's really that they became that way because communities of people just kept doing it. And it grew. I think any musical community worth a damn, like in Athens, Portland, anything like that, really their accommodation towards touring musicians, their willingness to promote shows, and promoting is really what has to happen if there isn't a scene, if there isn't a walk-in crowd. You know, ideally we could just post rock and roll Friday night, people show up, or hip hop Tuesday, and it doesn't matter who plays, you know, we're all just excited to get out of the house. But if there's not those faculties in place, then we all need to address who is doing what to make sure people know about it.
Don't forget, you got to set out with a budget early on. Know how much you want to do about per show and budget expenses. Count the printing, count the mailing, you know, count that extra $20 in postage and folders to put them in and stuff like that. Like, know what you're getting into so you don't get caught holding the bag later. You know, the reason why marketing budget is so important, and Richard wanted me to speak on this a little bit, is that that's just some extra ammo. If they know you put in something and that you're even aware that a promotions budget is a thing, then they're gonna consider you more easy to work with. And more easy to work with is what you're going for, in my opinion, because that's what we like. That's what a lot of talent buyers and promoters and artists like. So easy to work with leads to money, and that's what we're trying to do with being prepared, with knowing that a marketing budget exists, even if it's $50, knowing that you understand they have a built-in crowd, and that the best way to feed off of that with your bill or with your act or your content that you're putting out to promote the show. I know we're not going to waste any time in this telling you, you know, make a 1-minute video at least once a day doing something or promoting an event, because I know, you know, just not going to do it. A lot of you just aren't going to do it, and that's fine. If you have a budget for it, it kind of sets you on the right path of like, I want to make that budget, that $100 worth $300, so I'm going to be pushing content for that week or for that month or for this year. I'm going to be building that so I can make that $200 stretch to $400 and stuff like that. So just knowing you have a budget and knowing you're not spending money on stuff gets you out of conversations you don't want to be in booking. Leaves you also open to, yeah, I'll do anything. I just not going to spend any money on it because I have a budget set out for this. So yeah, I'm happy to show up and play, and I already post this stuff. It'll probably break you off more money if you're an artist. Just having a budget is just so powerful for marketing yourself with confidence, because you can't make any decisions. It's probably because you don't have numbers down.